From baby-faced assassin to the king of the world, how did Mbappe go from humble beginning to the biggest star on the planet? It wasn't always like this. Mbappe joined Paris Saint-Germain as a teenage prodigy, but at the time, all the noise was about Neymar Jr. The shock transfer brought the footballing world standstill. The heir to Messi and Ronaldo, how did Mbappe dethrone Neymar as the chosen one? Join us as we uncover his alter ego. Mbappe grew up in Bondy in Benelux, Ile-de-France region. He came from a family of sporting backgrounds. A mother who was a professional netball player and a father who is a football coach. Maybe it was destiny. Having a mix of Cameroonian and Algerian gives him the best of both worlds. Physical sub-Saharan traits, as well as the silky Maghreb dribbling style and flair. 1998 was a great year for France. No, not that. Mbappe was born. It feels like everything was set up for him to become a professional footballer in the industry. Maybe it was an industry plant. Having a dad as a coach, being from two different cultures who have their own advantages in football, and being born at the time French football had their proudest moment seems algorithmic. Mbappe later joined Clairefontaine, the Disney of French football. You see, football in France is a new phenomenon. The biggest club in France at the moment was only 53 years old, younger than my dad. France was not always a major footballing nation like they are today. Ligue 1 or French Football League officially founded in 1930, and the French FA was founded before that in 1919. That's way younger than the English Football League. Granted, Britain is the pioneer of modern football. Football was seen as lower class in France up until the 1970s, so it was not taken seriously by the population and was frowned upon. It was only in 1973 that the French professional charter came into force, obliging all professional clubs in France to establish youth academies. Back to Clairefontaine, this is the center of excellence that produced Henri, Anelka, Louis Saha, Benatia, Gallas, Matuidi, top scorer Giroud, and Ben Arfa. Clairefontaine was responsible for refining the technical and tactical elements of players. It has housed the national team since 1988 and was the base camp for the 1998 World Cup victory. They're less concerned with a tactical philosophy like Spain and are more focused on player development. The emphasis is on creating the best individual players for the team, and when you watch Mbappe, he plays with raw freedom and creativity. He plays like when he first broke through with Monaco, so direct, so fast, tricky, and just wanted to excite the fans. Most players lose that breath of fresh air as they age and become conservative. Mbappe is different. He's pure excitement. Mbappe joined Monaco's youth team at an exciting time as Monaco had received a new Russian billionaire owner, so they were expected to be competing on all fronts. However, that was short-lived as the owner went through a nasty €3 billion divorce with his ex-wife Alina and was forced to sell their big-money stars. What is dead may never die, but rises again harder and stronger. This was an opportunity for a new strategy for Monaco. It opened a gateway for many young players to showcase their potential, and in came Kylian Mbappe. A skinny teenager who looked like he had homework due came in and ripped it apart. He was scoring for fun, scoring hat-tricks, headers, braces, and much more. The day Mbappe showed himself to the world, Mbappe picked the perfect stage to introduce himself to the world. A Champions League knockout stage versus Manchester City. A boy on the pitch, but the finish of a grown man. Mbappe thumps the ball into the roof of the net and celebrates with the authority of a seasoned vet. Monaco knocked out the English giants Manchester City. Incredible! Monaco then goes on to knock out German giants Dortmund with Mbappe scoring one of the coolest finishes ever. I believe the kids call it top bins. Then debut his iconic celebration, which is arguably the second most recognized in the world after his idol Ronaldo's Sue. Monaco eventually gets knocked out by Italian heavyweights Juventus, but what a run, and to cap the season off, Monaco winning the league against the mighty PSG, who have one of the biggest budgets in history. An amazing achievement considering Monaco were third until Mbappe was fully introduced to the first team in December 2016. 31st August, Mbappe shocks the world and moves to PSG. It's rare for a player with as much hype as Mbappe to stay in Ligue 1, especially with the whole world vying for his signature. A great moment for French football. Mbappe was joining the new PSG project with Neymar. Exciting times for PSG and Ligue 1 fans. Two top 5 players in the world in the same team. Surely the Champions League comes to France. PSG was excited at the beginning of the season, but the Champions League knockout in the round of 16 proved to be disappointing. They did regain the league title and win the Coupe de France and Coupe de la Ligue, being man of the match in the latter. FIFA World Cup, Mbappé became France's youngest scorer at the World Cup versus Peru, but it was the game versus Argentina that made the world stand still. I hadn't seen anything like it since R9 in 1998. So direct with every touch, it was lightning. He was bullying Argentina's defense. They couldn't keep up, and only a motorbike could help them catch him. Arguably the performance of the competition against the greatest of all, Lionel Messi. The comparisons with Pelé were everywhere on Twitter. The first teenager to score a brace in a World Cup KO match since Pelé in 1958, Mbappé then went on to win the World Cup, scoring in the final at 19 years old. 19! At 19, I couldn't even cook rice. Mbappé was the face of French football. He was the one. This was the beginning of the real Kylian. Mbappé returned to PSG as a world champion. He was now the biggest player in France, and it made the Mbappé-Neymar dynamic interesting. Neymar had come to win the Ballon d'Or and be the leader, but now Mbappé's clout was arguably higher. Mbappé was no longer the teenager who would be a cog in the system. He demanded to be the system. Mbappé started outscoring Neymar, finishing above him in the prestigious Ballon d'Or rankings, and even his celebration was similar to Ronaldo, which gives off main character vibes. The boy from Bondy was now the alpha of PSG. He came to PSG with Neymar as his superior. He now had his eyes on Messi and Ronaldo's throne. As the years went by, Neymar and Mbappé had a few spats, including Mbappé being pictured calling Neymar a tramp on the substitutes bench. The rumors, according to Romain Molina, famous French journalist, is that PSG promised Mbappé they would get rid of Neymar in summer 2022 when he signed an extension, but he remained. After the penalty gate, a moment where Neymar took the penalty over Mbappé after Mbappé had already missed one, Neymar liked a tweet criticizing Mbappé and PSG, which caused further tension. This spat showed Mbappé showing his extremely competitive alter ego. Mbappé wants to be the best in the world and the best of his generation, and has no problem killing anything that gets in his way. He has a massive ego, which can be a good thing when trying to be the best. Look at Michael Jordan or his idol Ronaldo. They done whatever was necessary to be the best, creating fake enemies, rattling opponents and teammates so they can use their hate as fuel. All the best have an evil side that no one can understand, but that evil side, once untamed, makes them a feared opponent in any realm of human endeavor. If we look at the best athletes of yesteryear, whether it is LeBron James, Cristiano Ronaldo, or Tom Brady, there's one thing that sets them off to the success that they achieved outside of their immense physical and technical assets. It is their mindset. Some people might listen to this and react with, "Okay, Sherlock," but I want you to really think about this. For example, how do I know that their mindset is so great? Is it because of what they say in their interviews? Hell nah. Talk is cheap. It is the cheapest thing in the world. It always has been, and it always will be. I know it because it is extremely well documented just how much hard work they've put in to become the best. Oh, and I know it because it's visible in their output. You can't achieve what they have achieved without a lot of hard work over years and years. Now, at this point, someone could argue, then wouldn't that be what they all have in common? Shouldn't it be their work ethic over their mindset? The answer is no. Where does work ethic come from? Where does relentless commitment and sacrifice come from? Where does insane consistency and sufficient self-belief to keep going no matter what comes from? It all comes from your mindset. Just think about this small detail. If any one of them did not have an unwavering belief in themselves, do you really think they would get up in the morning every single day fully motivated to continue their journey of sacrifice and extremely hard work? To be the best in sports, your lifestyle must reflect that as well. People love to attribute success to talent because it makes them feel better about themselves. Oh, that guy was born with talent. He's just lucky. If I had been born with the same amount of talent, I could be doing what he's doing too. Thinking of the world in this way is very protective of your ego. So most people just think this way and feel great about it, but that's it. They just feel better about their own lack of accomplishments and nothing changes. However, for those of you brave enough to see past what your ego wants you to believe, then hopefully you know that anyone could become a professional athlete if they work hard from a young age. And also as long as they steer clear of any potentially career-ending injuries, of course. Does this mean you should feel bad about yourself? Why would you? You didn't know any better when you were younger, and that's exactly why I decided to create this video, to address the huge mistake in the perception of athletes who achieve greatness. The world of sports is all physical. The entire game is physical. However, what is driving the physical actions? It's always the player's brains. That's why so many NBA and NFL top 10 draft picks end up being a bust, because scouts are always mostly focused on the physical talent of the players. But what about the mind being the physical talent? That's like thinking the only thing you care about the Uber you're ordering is how good the car is. If the driver has 1,000 negative reviews, it doesn't matter. Only the vehicle matters. It makes no sense, right? Because it's the driver who will drive you where you want. So if he's crazy and dangerous, no matter what car he's driving, it's probably not a wise decision to go with that guy. Even if he's driving a Ferrari, a Bugatti, or a Lamborghini, it doesn't matter. Well, when a top 10 draft pick is a bust, that's what happened. They picked a Ferrari with a terrible driver. They picked a rookie who, on paper, has everything he needs to become a superstar. However, the mind behind that player does not have a good mindset. Instead, he just takes everything for granted, relies on his talent alone, and doesn't work hard. Or maybe he just doesn't believe in himself enough. Whatever it is, fast forward a few seasons and sometimes that rookie doesn't even have a contract anymore, all because he didn't have his mindset in order. Of course, some players are just unlucky and get awful injuries, but the mindset also plays a huge part in overcoming injuries. You need a great mindset to have the motivation to work hard so you can come back as soon as possible. Plus, you need a great mindset to not come back scared of getting hurt again. All this is what really makes the difference between the average player and the greats. So is Mbappe too arrogant? Will his ego cause problems in the Real Madrid dressing room if he signs? Can he share the spotlight with Bellingham and Vinicius? Give us your thoughts in the comments. Goodbye for now.